Can you imagine a future where the cure for our most challenging diseases lurks in the unseen corners of our world? A realm of healthcare where the tiniest organisms hold the key to groundbreaking medical breakthroughs? Welcome to the world of microbial dark matter and the pioneering work of Ross Young. Stay tuned as we uncover these mysteries and how to gain trust from investors with cutting-edge solutions.
Welcome to HeathTech Growth, the weekly podcast for healthcare founders and innovators, where we explore essential strategies to create successful and sustainable healthcare startups that improve patient outcomes and transform the healthcare industry.
Hi, I'm Sabrina Rumbach, co-founder of Postpoint Path, where we drive healthcare entrepreneurs toward innovation and success, reshaping our industry and enhancing global health outcomes. As an international keynote speaker, best-selling author, and host of multiple podcasts and TV shows, I'm here to share insights and lead tactical changes for you. Up next, we will listen to a recent founder interview, followed by my thoughts on overcoming their challenges, especially how to bypass the gatekeepers and be heard by the decision makers that truly can help your company to accelerate. Stay tuned.
We've been able to develop and prove the technology through 4 generations. We've been able to prove it at slightly subscale, meaning we were able to find small molecules that hit drug targets from natural microbiomes that give us the opportunity to move that forward. We are now ready to execute at scale. And in order to execute at scale, we need to have the funding to actually do that work. The next scale we have, we're trying to raise $3 million at a minimum. And as we execute that, we believe we're going to be able to work with numerous customers. Now, customers can be universities, they can be pharma companies, biotech companies, and we will find molecules that hit their targets and be in the earliest stages of advancing those. And that will ultimately drive valuation and potential revenue. Now, one of the issues that you have when you're doing breakthrough technology is everyone thinks they know what you're doing, and they will not take the time to actually learn what you're doing or ask the tough questions. I have had the opportunity to engage people that are curious. The problem is gatekeepers are typically given a edict which says, find this, A, B, or C. When you're doing something totally disruption, it's not A, B, or C. So therefore, it never has a chance to get past that gatekeeper to go to the real decision makers. I've maintained that if I had an opportunity to sit down with an hour with any of the top 20 richest people in the world, I would walk out of that meeting fully funded because of being able to give them the story without the filter of, quote, the expert or gatekeepers. And it started at about 2002. Pharma has realized they were horrible at research and finding new drugs. So they basically said, we're going to go into the business of grabbing a molecule at an early stage from someone that finds it, whether it's universities or whether it's biotech companies or other pharma companies. If it's progressed, then they'll pay more. But their whole goal and objective is to find a de-risk molecule, not to find a platform, not to find a technology, not to invest in research per se, but only to move forward a molecule. Now, if that's what the big money payers do, what do the people that follow them do? Think of it as VCs and family offices. They're just trying to beat them to that de-risk molecule. So it creates a stair step of de-risk molecule, de-risk molecule, de-risk molecule. And because of that, there's very little funding of research. And because of that, the new molecular entities has done nothing but gone down as the costs have gone up. 86% faster than inflation, and an actual decrease in average new molecular entities, even though that spend has gone sky high. It's not working. And the next thing is people are starting to realize that there are better ways to get at the hidden information in cellular signal. It's a monopoly game. You go around the board and you pick up pieces. You hope it's going to have value. If you strike it and you build your little connection between two pieces of property and somebody lands on it, you can now charge them more. So it's not about building a new board game or coming up with a new technology. It's playing the game that's in play. And they're all really good at it, except for those that have done the deep, serious research have run into the challenge of genomics is not delivering the promise. It's not giving us what we need to do. Synthetic biology is not. Computational does not have all the data needed. ML and AI doesn't have the data that's needed. So it really takes a new breakthrough in data building and access to the molecules. That's exactly what Biosortia can do that nobody in the world can do.
So we just heard Russ Young's exciting explanation as he dived into microbial dark matter. It's groundbreaking, but it's facing challenges with convincing the importance to investors and decision makers, making them skeptical because the novelty and complexity. As an advisor, I would recommend him focusing on 4 key major strategies to enhance his influence and secure funding. Number 1 is balancing scientific evidence with digestibility. Simplify data, focusing on key statistics that highlights microbiology's impact, making this research accessible and compelling, especially use something that's simple in the real world as a metaphor to explain the complexity instead of going down the research path of what it is. Number 2 is expanding the audience, reach beyond traditional scientific community, engage with other advocates and enthusiasts or drug discovery advocates in non-clinical settings to broaden appeal and support. This is also very important. Tapping into number 1 is that when people are not in the scientific community who understand the importance of the impact, we especially wanted to use storytelling. So layman term, people don't have to really use the brain cell to actually get it. And that's how you can hook people's attention right away so they can actually want to hear the additional explanation that you have. So in Russ's case, he did give an example of how the misconception of gene expression and where everybody is focusing on versus microbiome is actually very similar in multiple human beings. Instead of gene expression can be various things in everyone, which is hard to control when it comes to personalization in medicine. Number 3, narrowing the focus, concentration on 1 or 2 things that specific application for microbiome, like drug discovery, for example, to clarify the mission and strengthen the message. When he started going into the impact in agriculture, in clean water, in all these other areas, it seems like it's too big. People start thinking, what is it really it can do? And when we can narrow its focus, then the way that he can reach and research these potential collaborator advocates are much easier instead of boiling the ocean. Number 4, refreshing the narrative. Continuously update the story with new insights and developments, maintaining audience engagement and demonstrating ongoing value. It is needed for us to be persistent, to continue to talk about the things and the goals that this microbiome and his company can do. However, constantly adding new insights so people don't feel like, oh, they heard it over and over again, it's beating a dead horse. And then people can think, oh, there's a new research, there's a new person that's supporting, there's a new interview that you went on. Different ways and different perspective, because we know everyone has a different learning style. So presenting information in different methods and different insights to help them stay on top and wanting to continue to get more from you. Now, these strategies definitely emphasize in clear communication, audience expansion, focusing on clear specific message, and narrative update are vital in overcoming skepticism and advancing Ross's pioneering discovery in microbial dark matter. Hopefully you guys get the similar insight on how to make sure you become the best speaker and influencer on your journey, where you can become a true leader in your marketplace.
Thank you for listening to HeathTech Growth. If you're a healthcare tech innovator or founder interested in being a featured guest on our show, visit healthtechgrowth.io to learn more.